Give me 1 second. There you go. Silent Mod is here. How are you, my friend? I got my Googling gloves out. How you doing today, Silent Mod? My cat is meowing at me. Ahmed is here. Ahmed, my friend. I see you have an official at the end of your name. What does the official mean? Silent Mod says, hey, Yogi. Ahmed says, how are you? I'm doing good today. I was out early this morning and took my walk and got a nice couple shots of a deer, which is always, they're pretty common here. But you know what? You never get tired of seeing something like that. I never get tired of seeing any animal whatsoever. Not even my cat that's pestering me. And as well, later in the morning when I walked with Milka and Misty, the ducklings have arrived. I didn't think we were going to get any ducklings this year. Normally they're a little bit earlier, and we have more geese than ducks for some reason. And there was quite a few goslings out, but finally, the middle of June, we now have ducklings, and I got a nice couple videos of them, as well as some turtles, the standard fare. For some reason, I can't access my dashboard on YouTube. Ahmed says, yes, sir, I see. It's amazing. I love birds and nature, sir. I can tell. That's what makes your channel so unique. Not just the videos you do, but the obvious love that you have for what you film. Runner Boy is here. Runner Boy, how are you? Runner Boy uploaded his live, by the way. I'll be looking for it. Silent Mod says, I live in the middle of poor people city. Mirpur. That's my nickname for my city. We only have stray dogs, crows, and very, very small birds. Hey, it's all part of nature. Every bit of it. I love seeing crows. I bet you if you would go out at the right time, though, you might see more. If you would look down at the ground, you'd see a teeming wilderness of insects right beneath your feet. Nature is wherever we look. Most of us don't take the time to look. We're looking for the obvious. We're looking for the deer. We're looking for the tiger. We're looking for the bear or ducks and geese or whatever. And we miss the entirety of it. That's how we go through life with a lot of stuff. When was the last time you were aware? Silent Mod says we have, oh yeah, we also have bats. I love bats. When was the last time you were aware of the space of your surroundings? If I were to ask you to draw a picture of your room, chances are that you would draw all the stuff in your room. You would draw, this box-like thing, and then you'd put all this stuff in it. That's not your room. That's your stuff. Draw a picture of your room. And then you might draw take all that stuff out and just draw walls and a door and a space, maybe a window. And of course, that's not your room either. That's a drawing of doors and walls and windows and such. So you keep going and you keep going until you realize that it's all room, all of it, every little bit of it. It's only when we give it specific meaning, this is my room, that it becomes an actual room. But when was the last time that you were aware of that space? That space is reality. And then we have stuff appearing within reality, not separate from reality, but appearing within reality. Runner Boy says, I remember picking a baby bat up as a kid. Lucky the UK does not have rabies. That's true. Not as many bats have rabies as we think. Natural Sound is here. I appreciate that. Horror of Spice. Vincent's here. Hey, everyone. Vincent, how'd your therapy go? Silent Mod says, 3 months ago, a giant ass bat. Not a giant ass bat, but a giant ass bat. Flew into my house. Flew over my head, flew in every room, and then flew out of the second balcony. Awesome. And you say you don't have wildlife. Met says, sir, blew me on this one. So before I get accused of handing out mods willy-nilly, we all know who we all know who Mir Ahmed, GB official is. Nothing willy-nilly here, my friends. Although I am a firm advocate of willy-nilly. Sometimes we need to. Otherwise, life can get very dull and predictable. I am often told that my life must be dull and predictable, as I do the same thing virtually every day. I eat the same thing virtually every day. It sounds pretty dull and it sounds pretty predictable. However, for me, it's an entirely different ballgame. For me, hold up, guys. I'm going to bring up my desktop just in case we have a problem with my phone, which seems to happen in the afternoons, but not evening. For me, none of it is predictable or boring. For me, none of it is... That was me. All of it. Yeah, so I was behind, see? Give me a second to catch up. So all of it's very, for me, very spontaneous. Never boring. Even if it's the same thing every day, it's not the same thing every day. Because the actuality of the moment, the suchness of the moment, has never happened before. Or as Robert Saltzman, author of The 10,000 Things, says, it's all a once upon. No moment is ever the same as any previous moment. Indeed, it can't be. The entire universe has shifted, has changed within that moment. So, our friend Flower is here. Flower, we missed you yesterday. Relaxing is here. Relaxing, how are you? I've been spending some time on your channel, my friend. Met says, let's visit from here also, friends. Definitely check out Ahmed. Definitely check out, excuse me, guys, Relaxing. Raspberry Spice, how are you, my friend? I just saw you not long ago over at Barb's. Good morning. I hope everyone's doing well. Even with giant-ass bats. I think giant-ass bats improve any situation. Relaxing says, made it. I'm in my country. Awesome. Completely awesome, my friend. That is the best news I'm going to hear all week, all day, maybe even all year. If you guys don't know it, Relaxing was having a very difficult time, and he persevered. Amen, man. Awesome. I'm going to share that news with others. Let's see. Salamad says, I was going to say that you hand out mods willy-nilly because natural sound. No offense, natural sound. It's all connected. Flower says, I came in time to hear Yogi say giant ass bat. I might repeat it throughout the day. That might be the theme. That's might be all we talk about for the rest of the afternoon is giant ass bats. Because there's so many ways you can say it. Giant ass bats. Giant ass bats. I don't know. You tell me. How many ways can we say it, guys? ACC, blessings and hugs to everyone. Been studying about inner equality and self-worth. Very interesting. Sounds very interesting. And I mean to talk about some things like that after we get into the conversation. So, hey, if you want to share anything along those lines, please do. I have maybe different views on self-worth. Relaxing says, I know, Eric, you follow me, and I can't make out the last word. Yeah, I very much enjoy visiting you, Relaxing. And I left a little gift for you as well. ACC says, hi, everyone. Barb is here. Barb says, just finishing my channel. Hi, my spiritual brother and sisters. May God bless each of you. God bless you as well, my friend. I loved your reading today, Barb. I loved your opening prayer, and I loved the reading. The bear had a giant ass. I would say almost all bears have a giant ass. Relaxing says, but one unfortunately disappointment about what I find there. I was born disaster, destroyed everywhere in house. I'm sorry, my friend. That certainly does change things. However, at least you're home. ACNC says it's a very deep thought. It is. I don't know I understand it all, if I understand it all. I'll present something, and then we could talk about it a bit. Barb says, oh, thank you, I try. Again, it was beautiful. William's here. William says, hi, Yogi. William, how are you? Hey, you were mentioned on Eric LaPointe's channel the other day. He gave you a shout out. Silent Mod, for some reason, said the dog ate its own poo. Dogs do that. I had one dog that did and one dog that didn't. William says, hope you're doing well. I am doing well. Raspberry says, nice to see you as always, Barb. Hey, you know what? I appreciate Barb's friends coming over and hanging out. I appreciate you guys supporting Barb. I saw you over on her channel, and really nice to see. I very much enjoyed my time spent today with Barb. Let's see. Barb says, well, please, everyone, keep Wolf in thoughts and prayers. He is still in so much pain. Prayers definitely going out for Wolf. Prayers going out for our friend Wolf. Prayers going out for Barb, who is taking care of Wolf, as well. We're on the subject, as always, our friend Selina, who is a caregiver for her sister, who is ill. Don't know specifics. Don't need to know specifics. I know that Selina is a friend of the channel, And the role of a caregiver is a tough, tough role to have. I also know that she's taken it on lovingly. That's what family does. That's what friends do. So prayers for Selina and her sister Dana as well. Um, again, not going into detail. If you guys send out whatever works for you, prayers, energy, loving thoughts, good vibes to our friend Bumblebee T. And again, not going into specifics, but she could definitely use our prayers and our thoughts. William says he's doing well too. Good. Working out today? So, hey, Burpee Reaper can't be here. The last I saw, he was busting out 150 Navy SEALs. Reaper, how'd they go? I was there for a bit. I was with Thomas for a bit. Ahmed very nicely said, relaxing. You're a Sound of Stone, amazing. He does do amazing work. Relaxing says, I'm brokenhearted. And Eric, my friend, about what I find my born places, heartbroken. You know what? Maybe you returned home just in time, and you can help. Maybe you can help rebuild. Maybe you're there for someone specific. Maybe for everyone you come in contact with. But I would definitely say you're going to be part of the healing. You love your home. I could tell every time we talked about it. Raspberry spice. Sorry. You both have kind energy. Thank you, my friend. Barb says, ACC, before going into any deep study to help yourself, you need to meditate and know where you want. I would agree. And you know what? I would say that it's the meditation itself that is going to help you understand that you realize the temporary nature of any self when you meditate. Because one of the first realizations of meditation, not to give too much away, is that you're not your thoughts. Thoughts are occurring. And then you start thinking, if thoughts are occurring, who are they recurring? Who are they occurring to? And you start examining the self that you think needs self-worth. But you find that it really doesn't exist. That the self is appearing, disappearing. Where does that self go when you're in deep sleep? Not dreaming, but deep sleep, the third stage of consciousness, completely disappears. And yet when you wake up, it's there again. But only when you recall it. What if you woke up and you didn't remember that self? You would still exist. You'd still have a body. You'd still have a mind that worked completely well. But you didn't have that self that you think you are. You would still have pure awareness. So if you realize that there's pure awareness, your reality, and a self that appears within that reality, everything begins to change. So we had some excellent advice from Barb, as always. Let's see. Barb says they gave Wolf a back brace, so I pray it helps. I bet you it will. I think it'll make a big difference. Good. I'm glad they gave him something that has the possibility of helping, because the shot that he got, the cortisol shot, as you said, didn't seem to work or do the job. William says, Burpee Reaper, my man, what's up? Burpee Reaper says he's fast. He's definitely fast. He's fast without trying to be fast. And that's true speed. Because if you hurry through it, if you say, I'm going to do these quick, chances are you're going to burn out. Do 150. Actually, I think, Reaper, you did 200. You didn't count the first 50, right? So if you do that, you're going to burn out at 75 reps. But if you fast without trying to be fast, then you can go on forever. Signature says, at least I am not tired, and thumbs up for me, my friend. It's been a long day. Signature was here at my 5 o'clock reading, and I appreciate that, my friend. and the thumbs up. Appreciate that as well. Med says, hi, William. How are you, my friend? Reaper's on his way back to work now. I appreciate you stopping by, as always. Is everybody connected with Signature? Signature has an awesome channel. My nature friends here, definitely go and spend some time with Signature. William says, yeah, I worked out already. It hurt my rib area. I'm sorry to hear that. How'd that happen? What was the workout agenda for today? Relaxing says, thanks, Eric, my friend. You're welcome. And I do believe that you're there for the healing, that you are there to help rebuild. I think he made it back just in time. Did I miss Eric Lapointe? Let's see. William says, Eric Lapointe, thanks for the shout out. If you're here, now I see it. I should have read that before I went and checked. Well-deserved shout out. You guys following along with William Downey? Puts in his workouts. Great conversation. Then sit down and have another talk. Going to learn a whole lot. Not, you know what? If you're an older athlete, such as myself, you can learn a whole lot about proper way to lift at that age. If you're a younger athlete, you can learn a whole lot on how to lift for longevity so that you're doing what William does when you're his age. Things to keep in mind. I would be willing to bet that both William and myself would do a few things a little differently back in our heyday or when we were first starting out. Barb says, I find making a pro and con list to find where I need to go and what to start with, working on it. It's a good way to do it. Hello, Flower says, hi, Miss Barb. Flower has the best greetings in the game. No one knows how to. If I had an extra thing to put on the wrench, it would be, hello, Flower here, official greeter for Jesse Yogi doing burpees in his basement. That would be a long title for her, but it would be well-deserved. Okay. Reaper says, I didn't count the first 50, so I can focus on the next 100. Makes sense. Ahmed says, sir, I give gift to all friends here. Awesome. Let's see. Barb says, Eric, I did more breathing, but not again that long. Went well. 10, 7, 20. Nice. That's a pretty significant breath ratio. Heisenberg says, can you adopt me? You know what? I don't see why not. I got the room. I got 2 cats, so that would be 1 cat for me, 1 cat for you. I'm a vegan, I got to tell you that. So, you know, I don't have any non-vegan food in the house. Flower says, how do I have 59 subs? Because you're a talented young lady. People are coming to check your stuff out. Let's see. I'm reading a comment that was taken off. I would have left it. Someone says, this yogi looks like someone who likes meth. I think every yogi looks like they like meth. Nick says, do you believe in Jesus? That's an interesting question, Nick. And you know what? I'll be honest, I don't know. I grew up Catholic. I left the church. I left the church for a reason. My path led otherwhere. That I was drawn towards yoga. I was drawn towards Buddhism. I was drawn towards shamanism. Now, in my late 20s, I was drawn towards A Course in Miracles, which I was going to talk about today. A Course in Miracles is supposedly narrated, channeled voice of Jesus. Whether you believe that or not, it doesn't matter. It's a valuable book, 3 books in one, a year-long study guide on psycho-spiritual, changing our thoughts so that our life changes. And again, it's supposed to be the voice of Jesus, clarifying his message. I believe Jesus has a wonderful message. Do I think that he was the Son of God as he's described by religions? No, I think he's the Son of God as described in the Bible, not the way that has been translated. But hey, I could be wrong. And you know what? I'm always happy to be completely wrong about anything. Let's see. Nick says, yes, sir. So I appreciate the question, Nick. Barb says, the MRI tech told me to try. Laughing out loud. My heart went, no. Sticking to 10-5-10. You know what? I might suggest an even more gentle ratio. I would suggest 4-5-6, and then work your way up to 4-5-8. And I'm not sure if you need to go past 8, to be honest with you. Reaper says, Eric, skipped a few messages. What have I missed? Did I miss the one where they said this yogi looks like he does meth? I actually appreciated that comment. Flower says, definitely, sir, everyone, Don. Murph says he gives a gift to everyone. Appreciate that. Flower says, yeah, but can you really say their name, huh? What was the name? Oh, no, I didn't even try. No sense even trying. Odom says, I believe in God our Father, believe in Christ his Son. And Odom lives his faith. It's a beautiful thing. Someone like Odom I value all religions, and I value what they can give people, and it gives Odom so much. Someone like Odom would, in my view, is the best of every spiritual tradition. If, let's say, I was an atheist, which I'm not, but let's say I was, someone like Odom would give me cause to re-examine my belief system. Ahmed says, hi to Odom. Nick, you should look into Our Lady of Guadalupe. It's a very interesting miracle. Have a great day. You know what? I've read a little bit about it. There was the appearance of Mother Mary. Odom says, hey, Eric and Muramed. William says, I don't know what happened, but my phone powered down. I'm back. Welcome back. I think your phone knows intuitively when I'm about to say something crazy or something boring, and it channels down. I was talking about how valuable your channel is, William, for older trainees like myself, as well as young people, because you give some valuable advice on, as I mentioned, I think if you and I could go back in time, we might not do everything that we did back in our early years, training-wise. Ahmed says, Nick, I visit your video, my friend. Barb says, Amber Alert. Where is this? I don't think anyone said anything about Barb, anything that I saw. I think comments were directed at me and my meth-taking ways. You know, you do meth a half dozen times and you're labeled for life. That was a joke, by the way. I've never done meth. I've done a lot of other stuff. I spent my time in a psychedelic circle. Let's see. Thal wants to know who is Amber Alert. Barb says, Amber Alert, 3-year-old and 6-year-old from Lorange driving a Chrysler 200. The plate, please share. Sending out prayers for that situation, Barb. I hope everything goes well. Barb says that's the only information the phone is giving. Now, if you learn anything, please share, Barb. Flower says, I don't know what a Amber Alert. It's for a missing child. Let's see. Barb says, no, it was for me, but the mod took care of it. Thank you very much. We got you back, my friend. I mentioned before, everyone's welcome. No one attacks. If you attack, that's it. No second chances, no timeout. There's just no need for it. Doesn't fix anything, doesn't solve anything, doesn't change anything. And it's hurtful for everyone involved, including the attacker. You know what I'm going to say is especially the attacker. They might not realize it. I was talking about A Course in Miracles, and one of the lessons is that every attack is a cry for help. That includes the attack that you focus on someone else, and it also includes the attack that you have on yourself. If you look in a mirror and you're critical, it's an attack thought. And every attack is a cry for healing or a cry for help. There's two voices that play in your head all the time. One is the voice of the ego, and it's always wrong. It's always misinformed. It's always about perceptions, perceived wounds. But it's never about reality itself. The other voice, according in A Course in Miracles, is the Holy Spirit. If you are not a follower of the Holy Spirit, say you're, or a follower of A Course in Miracles, if you don't believe in the Holy Spirit, then you could say that the other voice is the calm silence of pure awareness. It is the silence of the voice of God. It's the silence of who we are when that voice isn't playing, the voice of the ego isn't incessantly playing in our head. So, hey, I'm not far behind. Flower asks a very nice question. How's your garden, sir, Odom? Excellent question. Barb says, I know, and thanks with much love. So that one did mention me. It said Yogi. Yogi looks like he does meth. It's a secret to having good abs. Rowan says, well, I'm thankful and thanks, people. I think that's because I think I'm not doing very well with my channel. You know what? I thought, for one, I love your channel. I love your message. And what do you have? 240? I'm clicking on your channel now. 249. One away from the big 250. Um, and I suspect it's going to grow. And I really hope you guys who haven't visited William, go check him out. It's valuable information, and William's an entertaining guy. He's just fun to listen to. He's also a very caring person. Addresses everyone in the comment, has a good word to say about everyone. If you're not there to really actually participate, if you're there, just saying stuff, then he just says goodbye to you. I could learn much from that, probably. Let's see. Ahmed says, to Barb, if anyone attack on you, we block him from here. Absolutely, my friend. We got excellent mods here today. We got Flower on the Ball. We got Ahmed. And we have the silent mod himself. Ben Gleck is here. Good afternoon, Yogi. Hope God's blessings you this fine day. Thank you, my friend. And indeed, definitely does. David Duke is here. Howdy, y'all. I suspect David Duke. I could be wrong. Everyone's welcome. So, hello, David Duke. Flower says, dude, these soldiers are now arresting people for having VPN. I don't know what VPN is. Slime Diver's here. Slime Diver, how are you? Blessings upon the Yogi. It's nice to see you. It's nice to see you. As I suspected, David Duke was not here with good intent. A bit of a shame. So here's the thing that we're going to do. Oh, thanks. He is now hidden from the channel. That's the way we do it. No timeouts. You know who to time out. A timeout is for someone who is just being a pain in the butt. A pain in a what was the comment? In a big ass bat's butt. But comments like that, I didn't actually see it, but I suspect. Come on, you got a title, David Duke. There's no sense in even playing games. Ben Gleck says, David Duke, come on, man, you know better. You know what, Ben? That's an interesting comment. You know better. The problem is, everyone acts from where they are capable of acting. So when you see that, it's so easy to forgive. It's so easy to not get upset about things. That David Duke literally doesn't know better. He only knows what his mind allows him to know. He's actually a prisoner, trapped in his thought system. So caught up in that message. So caught up in believing that it's the right message, that it's helpful, that it's doing some kind of good in the world. Sometimes there's hope that maybe they can transcend that. Maybe something's going to happen somewhere in the life where it becomes a possibility. Maybe not. But everyone deserves a chance to see if they can do it. That's what this life is all about. Working through that thought system and arriving to pure spirit, arriving to pure awareness, arriving to the heart center, the true energy, not just of the body, but of life itself. But hey, I appreciate someone like Ben Gleck, who has a more positive message and is helpful in sending out that thought to Ben Gleck. Maybe that thought will help him, or I'm sorry, to David Duke. Maybe that thought will help him actually know better. We can hope. Barb says, thank you for blocking. You got it. Slime Diver says, come on, guys. Positively only. I appreciate that. I tell you what, though. Sometimes, in the right circumstances, with the right people, and I'm going to go and say, oh, I miss Destiny. Destiny, how are you, my friend? I'm going to say you guys are the right people. You guys are the people for magic to happen. That I'm going to use an example of Tantra, Tantric Buddhism, which is the art of taking a base desire, primal energy, and channeling it up the energetic centers of the body until it becomes pure spirit. And we can do that with anything in life. We can take a David Duke, that energy, that darkness, and channel it. So darkness itself isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's what we learn to do with it that matters. So sorry guys, I fell behind. I'm going to see if I can catch up. Conversation is flowing. So Destiny is here. Night Gang Bang. I'm probably saying that all kinds of wrong. I apologize. Says, hey buddy. Hello. Mackenzie Kell. Says, hi, hey everyone. Hello my friend, how are you? Virtual Priv Networks, VPN. Thank you for that, William. I'm diving in here. Destiny says, happy Thursday everyone. Happy Thursday to Destiny. I hope those who are not connected with Destiny get a chance to visit. Probably the most positive message on all of Facebook. A joyful place. Najit Gang, I hope I can say that right, says that's a lot of books. That is actually a sampling of books. I got several rooms and another shelf over here filled with books. Not all of them mine. Some were my father's. This was my father's house that I inherited. I got to be honest, in almost 2 years since my father passed away, I've touched very little. I still don't have the energy for that. Flower says, VPN, that's you talk with people outside the country, and they apparently don't want that, and I have VPN, so good for me. Be careful, Flower. Silent Mod, well done, my friend. Let's see. Barb says, actually, it is brainwashing in a way. Exactly. Excellent point, Barb. We brainwash ourselves. Not purposely so. It seems that when we're born, we're that pure awareness coming into the world, and then a veil of secrecy against knowing who we truly are soon falls, and then it's perpetuated by our parents, by our teachers, by media, by the books that we read, by our siblings, and then media, specifically social media, and it just gets further and further away from us. If we're lucky, we get our heart broken wide open, and it causes us to turn inwards. No longer focused on the outer world, we start asking ourselves the important questions of who am I and why am I here? We also realize that we don't have answers for that. We come to that place of pure silence. This is where Herman Melville in Moby Dick said, silence is the only voice of God.
You might break up to the DMV, would you?
Sorry, was that the question? The Broken God says, what's your favorite novel? Lonesome Dove, without a doubt. Followed by maybe Confederacy of Dunces, um, Jitterbug Perfume, and let's see, probably 100 Years of Solitude. So as I said, if there's an attack going on, do not worry about timeouts. Go ahead and hide them. Go ahead and block them. Zero tolerance. But be careful who you apply that to. Make sure that it's an attack and not just someone trying to be funny. Or actually maybe even being funny. I'm going to be honest. I don't mind trolls. They make me think. They sometimes make me smile. I don't like people who attack other people. They're not trolls. They are someone that we're unable to help right now. Maybe they listen and they might get a message. Maybe not. It's, you know, we're here to do what we're doing now, to talk. So, hey, if it works for them, awesome. If it doesn't, we can't do anything for it. If it's an attack, we just get rid of them. So my hope, our friend Barb, our real friend Barb, hangs in there with us as we sort through the mess. Because, hey, as you can see from the mods, they got your back 100%. Eric the Point says, hey there, chat. Broken God says, don't read novels, that is. I read, Silent Mod said that to Broken God. The Broken God says, Lonesome Dove is great. Yeah, you know, a Western won the Pulitzer Prize. An amazing novel. It's one of those books that I can reread every couple of years and it's as fresh. Same with the miniseries, amazingly enough. Of course, you got Robert Duvall and Tommy Lee Jones. Can't get any better than that. So, sorry, I've missed some stuff. I'm going to back up here and try to work my way through. Destiny says, I pray that everyone is going great. Always remember to live your life intentionally and on purpose. Blessings and love. Thank you. Slime Diver says, this is confusing. It can be a bit confusing, but you know what? We wade through it and it gets better. We started off good and it gets better. One thing we know for certain, we are here for our friend Barb. Nugget says, oh, so the blue one is fake. Good to know. The blue one is not fake. Music Biz Marty account 142 says, this is a pretty nice stream. Thank you. And hopefully we can keep it that way. Sometimes it veers off track only for a little bit. William says, I got to run. Gonna have to run. Taking my wife and mother-in-law to lunch. Please take care, everyone. Take care of yourself. Enjoy lunch. Raspberry Spice says, nice vibes here. Thank you. And you know what? It has nice vibes because we got people like Raspberry Spice here. Everyone's lending their own good vibes to the place. Broken Guy says, that's not a good ear to my Barb. She tends to ban happy, but I'll behave. She's been nothing but a good friend here. Ben Gleck says, oh, well, it's Music Biz Marty. Oh, I missed that. Oh, no, I didn't. He said this is a pretty nice stream. I appreciate that. Destiny says, we'll have a great lunch to Morning Bounty. I hope so too. David says, where are you from? I am originally from McKeesport, Pennsylvania, outside of Pittsburgh. Sad place now. It has not done well since a lot of the mills closed down. But I grew up in Columbia, Maryland, which is an awesomely beautiful place. And I'm still here now. I'm in the house that I grew up in, actually. Inherited a house from my father. Robert Bird says, being introspective is a great way to heal oneself. Exactly. I would say it's the only way to heal yourself. If you focus on just one layer, one level, you get an incomplete healing. In yoga, they talk about the koshas. The koshas are the levels of ourselves. We think of ourselves as just a body. They call that the food shelf, the food body. And then we have the pranic body, the energetic body. And then we have the mental body. And then we have that subtle, that's where karma plays out, the subtle body. And then we go all the way to the universal body, our beingness itself, who we truly are. Filter down. Infinite, filter down to finite. But the infinite never changes. The infinite never dies. Infinite never goes anywhere. That's our true selves. And when we relate to the eternal, stuff like's happening here in the chat, the name calling, the innuendos and stuff like that, none of it matters. Because it's a finite game. But we still have the infinite playing above us. Helps you relax. Don't take us much seriously. Remember in the 4 agreements, Don Miguel Ruiz says, don't take anything personally. Don't make assumptions. Don't take anything personally. Imagine how much easier life would be if we didn't take anything personally. Even if it was directed to us, we don't take it personally because they don't know us. Anything directed at us is just a thought in someone else's mind. It's not reality. It doesn't even matter. Only to that person who's thinking it. And remember what I mentioned in A Course in Miracles? Every attack thought is simply a request for help or healing. So if you attack someone else, you're literally saying to the world, I need help, I need healing. We have a choice when we hear that. Do we respond with more attack, or do we offer help, or do we offer healing? If we're unable to help, if we're unable to heal, that the very least we can do is not make the situation worse. So we send them gently and kindly on their way. Broken God says, aren't we all strangers until we understand each other? Yes, I'm going to make an amend to that. I love that. Aren't we all strangers until we understand each other? Let me add something to that. I'm probably way behind, aren't I? Sorry. We are all strangers until we get to know ourselves. So, how much have I missed? Well, I missed Goldie being here. Welcome, Goldie. My good friend, our good friend. Barb says, no, Eric P. I'm not. All is well. Man, absolutely love people making peace. Barb, my friend, is a peacemaker. Did you listen to her prayer she offered on her live stream this morning and her reading? Robert Bird said, my favorite book is The Fountainhead. I've read Atlas Shrugged. However, it did not lead me towards libertarianism, although I did look into it. And they do have some good points. But overall, I try not to join anything. That's why I don't consider myself any political established thing. So, 2-cap. 2-cap. I was tempted to say 2-mock, but again, yeah, it doesn't work. 2-cap is perfect. 2-cap is our friend Thomas, by the way. 2-cap says, I love your approach, Eric. Eric Lapointe. He got it in. He got his reps in. Silent Mod says, why Yogi? What are we whining about? Oh, okay. Flower says, what happened? Yogi just looked back and shook his head. Someone asked me a question, and the answer was no. So I'm going to go all the way down to the bottom and work my way up. Mayhem of Miracles is here. Awesome. Maja. Here's a question I have for Maja. You get more people in a stream than I do. How come you never fall behind? You're on top of things. You're on top of things like no one else is ever on top of things. You and James Skype. And yet, James Skype is like really focused. But Mayhem and Miracles, it's not that she isn't focused. She's focused, but also so extremely involved in everyone who comes in. Something nice to say about everyone. So does James, but Maja is just she made it into an art form. Maja says, have to read fast. I think my problem is the giving mini discourses on things that don't need to have a mini discourse, like this, for instance, like giving a discourse on not having a need to give a discourse. That is definitely a problem. So I'm scrolling back up. I made my way to the bottom. We're going back up. If I missed anything that you guys want to address or talk about, Mayhem says, hi Yogi, gave you watch hours, watched 2 full ones I missed from earlier. Another one. That's absolutely awesome. I'm 117 watch hours away, and that's not counting at least 4 days. It says counted up until the 8th, but I don't know if it includes the 8th or doesn't include the 8th. So regardless, I'm pretty darn close. I think I can do it. I think I can do it I think we can do it, because I didn't do this alone. I did absolutely none of this alone, including this conversation. I think I can do it before next week, which is a perfect opportunity to say thank you to every single one of you. And actually tell you how much I love each and every one of you. You may come in here every day, which I do. Totally worthwhile. Maja said how to be on the TV. I appreciate that. She can't stay. Still needing to finish AdSense. I was missing Pat for a few other things. I was extremely lucky that I have AdSense from my blog, and I got it several years ago, and it's in good standing. Two Cap says the trolls actually create the most meaningful conversations in the space. Often they do. Often they do. And it's a big plus if they make me smile. TCAP says, as a side note, if you're in a confrontation and the other person says, you don't know me, you made a mistake. Excellent point. Did I miss Dottie? Oh, Daddy. Good morning, Eric. Daddy, my friend, how are you? So I'm scrolling upwards. TCAP says it's good. Hop into the shower. So I'm going to go back down to the bottom. If I missed something and you guys want to fill me in, let me know. I do want to, I'm looking up above, and Robert Bird said, do you enjoy reading Ayn Rand? It was probably 30 years ago I read Atlas Shrugged. You know, actually probably even more. Maybe even close to 40. early 20s at the very least. And, it's when that time when you're looking to try on different philosophical hats. And it didn't stick with me. Not so much the book as the message, the meaning. Um, in fact, it led me looking for other paths, which is important. That's the importance of reading something like that. You don't have to agree with it, but if it makes you look elsewhere, if it gives you a message and you say the message isn't for me, it's the perfect message for you, because now you're ever closer to finding that path that is meant for you. So in that regard, I didn't enjoy the message, but I enjoyed the process of reading. And it was a process. It took me a bit to work my way through that. I actually still have my original copy on the shelf in the next room. Babushka, sorry, is here. Hello, lovely Yogi. I'm stumbling today, guys. Hello, my friend. Teacup says it's difficult to look in sometimes and be honest with what's there. Our ego wants to protect our self-image. That's why giving yourself away is so powerful. It is. An important point to remember is the ego will never be able to address the ego. The ego will never be able to change the ego. The ego has an agenda of keeping the ego alive. The ego isn't bad per se. It's a navigational system. What happens, though, according to yogic psychology, as well as Buddhist psychology, is we unfortunately begin to identify solely with the ego, with that navigational system, and not with our true reality. Every path of spirituality is about leading us back to reality, away from the navigational system. So when we can simply view it as a useful tool, but not who we are, everything in life becomes infinitely easier. Excellent point, Thomas. As I mentioned the other day, what I need is some kind of like electrical button for the mods to have that sends a electrical jolt through my spine. When I start falling behind, they press that button and I realize what's going on. I think some would enjoy that button more than others. Mayhem says, run you right now. Get on TV. Thank you. Very much appreciated. Destiny says, yes, Mayhem, I agree with you. To reading fast and, of course, talking not so much in detail, but make a quick and accurate point remark. Man, if I had that advice 50 years ago, how different my life would be. Barb says, a book I read says to understand life, we must allow anger to show at least once in our spirit, and mind can expand our outlook in life. That makes sense. Again, anger, any base emotion, it isn't bad. It's what we do with it. It's how we relate to it. Imagine if we made a slight shift, and instead of saying, I am angry, we simply thought anger is present. We don't identify with the anger. In Buddhism, it likens us to the blue sky, which never holds a grudge against any cloud that appears within it. No storm cloud, no lightning bolt, no thunder ever leaves anything behind. There's no grudge. We are that blue sky. We just forget. Maja says, have a good stream. Take care. You as well, my friend. Teacup says, interesting, Barb. I definitely have issues around shown anger. I can recall the times on one hand. Interesting. Barb says, I think we all need that button. Would come in handy. Mocha's here. Mocha says, I have you on my phone and TV. Man, that's a lot of yogi time. That might be too much yogi time for any one person to have to experience all at once. Excellent words from Teacup. Yes, observe the anger and you will see the path towards expression. Exactly. And you can also return so easily, so silently to your true reality, to your true self. to that awareness, the simplicity of who we are, our beingness. To throw in a favored word from myself and our friend Destiny, the OG of the Fellowship of Beingness. Silent Mod says, hello, Master Sergeant retired. Hey, so I'm sort of caught up. I missed a lot, but I'm caught up. Two-Cap says, my mother grew up under a rageful father. She raised at my sister as a baby, then went to therapy and became passive-aggressive instead. Interesting. You know, Thomas, sometime I got to learn how to do live sessions with people. So many people here that we'd have just a blast trading stuff back and forth. Epigenetics. Traumatic epigenetics. Going all the way back centuries and never healed. And yet healing, all of that can change right here, right now. And that epigenetically speaking, the genes that are being expressed right now, whether healthy or suffering, are all the results of everything that happened to our grandparents, our great-grandparents, our great-great-great-great-great-grandparents. We have so little control over all of that until we awaken. Let's see. Goldie says, hi, Little Mocha. Just leaving work in the pouring rain. Well, I'm already in the second hour of the conversation. So, let's see. I'm not used to being caught up. Now I have nothing to talk about. Salamad says, Yogi, read my freaking message. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of messages that I've missed. Salamad says, this is one I'll read. Let's see. I am Tim Sheff. I am the CEO of Orange. Also, I am definitely not a cheap knockoff of Steve Employment. I make the new iPhones with innovative new design. We call nothing. I take it you are not a fan of Apple. Are you not a fan of Apple? Two-Cap says, unspoken expectations become the source of our resentment, boiling over into anger. And then offer to someone else. Attack mode. And guess what? Someone accepts that attack mode and they take it. And they either don't express it or they express it to someone else and it continues on. That's the nature of epigenetics. It's also the nature of a meme, an actual virus. We inflicted in someone an actual virus that carries over. Everyone that came in here to attack our friend suffers from a meme. They don't know anything at all. They think they do. Maybe they have information about whatever. Doesn't matter. It's just information. There's a big difference between actual knowingness and information, whether it's mistaken information or not. So you're just perpetuating a meme, attacking and attacking and attacking, not realizing how much you are suffering from the attacking and how you just offering the continuation of every single problem that we have in the world. Every single one of them. Every problem we have in the world is based upon an attack thought. homelessness, it's because people attack the thought of, with the thought, why don't you have a place to live? What have you done wrong? Help yourself up, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, do this or do that. It needs a paradigm shift. Silent Mod says, I hate orange. I got that impression. You made the impression pretty clear. You're pretty clever in how you stated it. Let's see. Eric Point says you had a pretty intense workout, Yogi. It was pretty good. Short. I've been doing shorter stuff. The past 2 weeks, very much inspired by our friend the Burpee Reaper. It's the body recomposition stage of my life. Can a near 60-year-old burpee, man, I'm not even sure I like saying that out loud, put on just a little bit more muscle on basically a low-calorie diet? The answer is, I don't know, but we'll find out. Third eye phone. I like that. Silent Mod says, TCAP, that's why I have no expectations for anything. That's not a bad way of approaching life. You know, I was just reading this morning, and it's straight from the Bhagavad Gita, but it's not from the Bhagavad Gita. The message, though, is very similar, is that you are only entitled to your effort, not the results of your effort, because we simply can't know. And that's a game changer, too, because now you put all your passion into the effort and not what's going to come out of it, because you don't know. Doesn't mean that you can't have hope. Doesn't even mean that you can't have expectations, but you're holding them lightly. You know that it's beyond your control. The one thing you have control over is, what are you doing right now? Eric Lapointe, never done 150 burpees, let alone Navy SEALs. In the back of his mind, he might have been thinking, I don't know if I can do this. You know what he did know? He knew he could do 1 rep. And when he finished that rep, he knew he could do another rep. Before you know it, 150 reps in the book. A stellar performance from Eric Lapointe. I mean, a big, big salute and shout out to Eric Lapointe. Stepping up like that, amazing. TCAP says anger is better than apathy, though. I'm going to get scolded by Silent Mod because I'm going to say Gandhi. And Gandhi was kicked off the train for being the wrong color in South Africa. How can anyone be the wrong color in South Africa? But he was in a rainstorm. And as he sat in the rain, as not a very effective lawyer, low man on the totem pole, far from the Mahatma, far from the great soul, he got angry. Not that kind of seething, I'm going to get you, but the type of anger that causes a paradigm shift. And eventually, from that spark of anger, without a single shot being fired from his end, he toppled the greatest empire that the world knew as of that time. Gained independence. Rosa Parks got angry. Told to sit at the back of the bus. Martin Luther King got angry. Martin Luther King was a student of Gandhi. He was raised by Quakers, went to Quaker school, steeped in non-harmfulness, ahimsa, and yet he got angry, and the world shook with that anger. Changes were made. Not enough changes, not yet. We're working on it still. Everyone's working on it. It's the birthright that he left all of us. You have the right for a better world, but you got to work for it. And again, it's the effort, not the result. Let's see. Barb says, I love to eat apples, but don't like the phones. I'm an apple eater myself. 2 a day, actually. Salamad says, Teacup, you could say the iPhone 3 by Orange. Teacup says, working out causes physical inspiration. This is the way out of depression and into an empowered place. I agree with that. Working out has been a lifesaver for me. Most particularly when I took up ultra running, because I was out in nature for extended periods of time. Barb says, many times wrong information. Exactly, my friend. I have a Samsung Silent Mod. Slime Diver says, hey Yogi, have you heard of StreamYards? It's a way for you to talk to people in chat. This will come with its own challenges since pranksters like to put naughty images up on the screen. I have heard of it. I haven't really looked into it too much. I hear varying opinions about it. Jacob's here. Jacob says, want to drop by and say blessings to y'all. Hey, Brother Yogi, and salute to you. Hit the like button. Gonna be back to work. Mow the lawn. Appreciate you stopping by, Jacob. Silent Mod says it's too much of a hassle to set up on phone. Lately, I've been doing in the afternoons on my desktop because for some reason my phone, maybe it's overloaded. I don't know. Teacup says, I think expectations are a tool like the ego. You just have to do the work of expressing them. Yeah, I would agree. I would agree. Holding them lightly. Man, if I could sum up happiness, joyfulness, in this most simple way possible, it would be hold things lightly, including, maybe most especially, definitely most especially, our own opinions. Realizing it's just that, our own opinion. It's not even real. It's based upon a thought. Thoughts aren't real. Doesn't mean that thoughts don't have energy. It means they're not real. What do you do with that energy is up to us. It was Emerson, he said that thoughts are the ancestor of every action. So every action that you've taken is based upon a thought, and every thought is a transitory once upon moment. So be careful. Be careful of those thoughts. Don't act upon something that you don't know is 100% certain. Or if it's information, if it's misinformation. Barb says, remember doing StreamYard, a person don't have account. They come in guest and will put up horrible things. I've heard that. And that's, I think, what's steered me away. Babushka says that she loves StreamYards. Okay, so we got a pro and we got against. Teacup, anger and action. Exactly. So, here's a perfect example. Our good friend, Silent Mod, scolding me saying Gandhi, as the way I've always said it. As the way it's said probably with an American accent. It's definitely the way it's said with a Yogi from Pennsylvania and living in Baltimore, outside of Baltimore accent. So, you could either get frustrated that somebody says things differently than you, or you could just let it go and say, Yogi says everything funny. The choice is always yours. Slime Diver says, silent moderator, I don't think so. TCAP, we reject the anger when we label anger as bad. Exactly. We're getting bothered as sensitive. We're literally placing a judgment on everything that goes on in our head. Even a judgment on our judgment. It's a regressively stream that leads absolutely nowhere and accomplishes absolutely nothing positive. Just keeps us in that perpetual motion of judgment and anger and fear. In A Course in Miracles, it states that every thought is either one of fear or one of love. This is why they say that There's two voices in our head. There's the voice of ego, which is always wrong. Doesn't mean the ego itself is wrong. The voice of ego is always wrong because it's always demanding, it's always wanting, it's always pushing, it's always hoarding, it's always attached, or it's always averse. Always. And then there's the quieter voice. It's that voice that Herman Melville said, silence is the only voice of God. It is the voice of Spirit. In the tradition of A Course in Miracles, they say it's the voice of the Holy Spirit. So if we, just a very, very briefest pause, which voice am I listening to? Which voice am I reacting to? And which voice am I going to respond from? So even if we react to the voice, the first voice, we can always choose to respond afterwards by saying, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. Those are the 4 phrases that I use in the Hawaiian shamanism, Ho'oponopono. Don't ask me to spell it. Probably don't even ask me to say it again. I'm not sure I could. TCAP says, Jay Jordan uses StreamYards all the time. Always a good time. The Jay Jordan is a live stream genius. Can't put myself in that league. So I don't know if, I definitely don't think I could do the stuff that the Jay Jordan does technically or otherwise. Slime Diver says the advantage of being able to talk to people in the audience and share our feelings far outweighs any risk. The naughty image problem can be resolved with certain techniques. Yeah, I would definitely need help with that. Let's see. TCAP says, work outdoors is what I call double duty, twice the benefits. Definitely. It's therapy. Doing anything outside is going to be infinitely better than doing it inside. Babushka says, I've had some of the best discussions I've ever had on StreamYard. So I got to admit, I see both points. The people who are advocating for StreamYard make a very, very compelling case. So this is my problem. It's technically, I know absolutely nothing. Technology is the bane of my existence. It's not really. Says Babushka Slime Diver, it's too much of a risk. Yogi's channel could get banned if some troll showed bad stuff. It's an excellent point. So could you please move on? Babushka says, I understand. Just chiming in my 2 cents. Hey, I appreciate your 2 cents. And otherwise, you know what? Hey, if you only have a penny that you're throwing in, I appreciate that as well. Eric Lapointe, with excellent, excellent musical taste, says, like that song, hold on loosely, but don't let go. Exactly. Barb says, I agree, silent. Slime Diver says, Yogi can just do a screen, do full screen so the naughty images don't appear. Okay. I swing all over the place on this, guys. MF Dreadson, peace, peace, greetings. Hello, my friend. How are you? How's your workouts going? Texas Sam, my friend, how are you? Says, I don't think this community would do that to Yogi. He's a peaceful man. Howdy again, Yogi. Howdy, my friend. How are things in Texas? Yeah, people have tried things here on the channel. I generally just don't, react to them. Barb says, because it's stalking her. I've mentioned before, you know what? I'll take 20 people, trolls otherwise, in a conversation to have one true friend. I appreciate I appreciate Barb's presence. So I take everything as it comes. And we're handling it. Hey, look at what an awesome job the mods have done here. Um, because they're standing by a friend. People can come up and say, but you don't know, you don't know, you don't know. I don't need to know. That's, again, all of that is information that is beyond my knowing. Don't know. No one here knows the things that I've done, thankfully. That's actually not true. I've almost told everything I've ever done, one way or the other, because I've had a very entertaining life that never ceases to make me smile. Even some of the things that were pretty bad. And by bad, I don't mean like bad, I hurt someone. All the hurting I've ever done in my life has been inadvertently from hurting myself. I spent the 90s drinking, and I ruined every relationship that I was in. I drank myself out of jobs. I drank myself out of cars. Um, but none of it was ever personal. I was never doing anything against anyone. Or maybe I should change that. It was all personal. It was all about me. I was slowly killing myself in a way that seemed reasonable, which of course it wasn't, until I was given an epiphany, literally an act of grace, where I had this intuition that if I wanted to, at this particular point in my life, if I never wanted to have a drink ever again, I didn't have to. And I was drunk when that happened, but it instantly sobered me up. And it wasn't like I made the decision, okay, I'm going to do this. It just, the urge to drink completely left me. And that was in 1999. And I've never had a drink again. Nor have I been tempted to. It's like every cell in my body went from being the cell of a heavy drinker to the cell of someone who had no urge to ever touch it. And I'm forever grateful for however that intuitive voice found me. Mr. Dreadson says, have you ever transmuted feelings of anger through a demanding workout and sweat it out? I have. But for me, two things work best of all: meditation and breath work. Let's say three things: meditation, breath work, and being out in nature. For sure. Breath work literally changes the physiology of your body, and it changes your energetic structure. You go from being in that sympathetic fight or flight state, and within 10 breaths, you've put yourself into the parasympathetic rest and digest mode. When you're in that rest and digest mode, it's physiologically impossible to still be angry. You have to recall it and put yourself in another state. But if you use the breath, you put you in that state of non-anger. You just need to be aware. This is where I am now, and this is where I want to stay. This is where I will remain. So, excellent question. How did I fall behind again? Natural Sound says he's busy on the cell phone. Simediver says he's an amateur cryptozoologist. What is a cryptozoologist? I like the way that sounds. Mocha says, you know that's from a 38 Special song? I do know it's from a 38 Special song. And I know full well that you know my view of 38 Special. Here's the thing. 38 Special is... there's those middle musical bands. You know, not the Rolling Stones, they're not the Beatles. They're certainly not the Bay City Rollers. They're right here. And they have a lane. And I don't think they ever tried to be the Beatles. No one should ever try to be the Beatles. Except for the Beatles, of course. But you and I both love musical analogies, using a song to make a point. Barb says, be careful, Texas, they made an exact channel as me, but make sure you check the over 1,000 lives I have. TCAP says, yes, Yogi, and the practice improves our reaction time. Exactly. For me, the importance is going from reactive to responsive. So I mentioned before how much I love the word responsibility, or ability to respond. Excellent point from TCAP. I'm not sure the anger gets transmuted through the workout. More likely it's identified. It depends on the intent that we have when we start. Again, I'm going to refer to it like Tantra, where you take a base primal energy and you channel it up through the energetic system, the spiritual energetic system, so that it literally is transformed into something else. And we can do that anywhere. We can do it here in this conversation, which we've done. When it starts going haywire, we, with intent, we steer the conversation towards we would like it to go. And we get people like Two-Cap and Slime Diver and Eric Laporte and Mocha and Barb and Goldie, all of them lending the energy. Destiny, Flower, not forgetting Silent Mod, of course. Everyone, too many to name. It is what it is. I'm defaulting back on my original Burpee Reaper name. All of you act as that energy to make it into something better. Let's see. Slime Diver says, Yogi, you can do a full screen mode from mode for him, and there would be absolutely no chance to go to images. That's good, except I'm technically deficient in skill and knowledge and button pushing. So, all right, let's get caught up here. Texas Sam says, got it, Barb. I'm just an old man. I don't catch on as sharp as these young people do. It gets confusing. I'm with you, my friend. TCAP says, my Qigong practice is centered on transforming anger into compassion. Awesome. I really hope, man, Thomas, I would just love to see a Qigong-centered channel from you. You know, of course, keeping up with the workouts and all the other stuff, but you got so much knowledge to drop that I just don't see out there. It would just be valuable. Slime Diver says, Barb, may I ask why I was banned from your channel? Have done anything mean? Any talk about the skunk ape? All right. Not only am I behind, I'm regressing. I'm going up and I'm going down. So I'm going to do what I've been doing. I'm going to start at the bottom again. Work my way up. I have missed the fact that our friend Wolf was here. Wolf, how are you? TCAP says, I think some things are never to be known. That's why we have faith. I agree. And for me, it's not even a matter of faith. It's a matter of mystery. Can we learn to live with mystery? Can we learn to live as mystery, the ineffable? Do we need to have answers? If we let go of the need of answers, then we live in perpetual mystery and life is full of astonishment. This is what I say, well, I'm never bored with the things I do, even though I do them every day, because it's a continuous astonishment. I actually mentioned that to Mocha on our walk earlier. It's all very much a spontaneous life, even when I do the same thing over and over again. How is that possible? Why is it possible? I have no idea. It's a mystery. Goldie says, I agree, Two-Cap. Goldie is someone who lives her life by her faith. And it's a beautiful thing to watch or to be part of, to behold. Let's see. Silent Mind says, Yogi, if you're comfortable, will you, with it, will you share how much you have made from donations this month? I would, but I don't know, to be honest with you. So far, I haven't made anything officially because I don't know when they send that stuff out. And for some reason, my dashboard comes up a empty screen saying, "Oops, there's a problem." So I don't know what's going on with that. Goldie is tired on the tram heading home from work. I'm glad that this part of the day is over for you, my friend. Hopefully you get to relax a bit, have a nice meal. TCAP says science deals with quantitative. Yes, they do. And they're absolutely excellent at it. But they leave a whole lot out. The whole process leaves a whole lot out. So, whoops, said TCAP, you study things we know exist that science has yet to acknowledge. Exactly. 100%. They're starting to. Look at Chinese medicine finally being adopted. Oh, hey, thank you so much, Barb. Very much appreciated. I'm sorry I didn't see that earlier. Very much appreciated. And I just found Eric Lapointe. 2 questions for you, Yogi. Did you go vegan before you stopped drinking? And can vegans use cow wrap to grow vegetables because it comes from an animal? Good questions. No, I quit drinking first, but I was a vegetarian when I quit drinking. My life was being led in a particular direction. I didn't know it at the time, and it resulted when I decided to take meditation seriously. And I don't have any idea why I decided to do that. I toyed with meditation for over a decade, where I would sit extended period of times and then I'd stop, and then always come back to it. Same with my yoga practice. At some point in the 90s, for whatever reason, it became a priority for me, and I never missed it. And my life instantly began changing. I dropped bad habits without trying. My diet changed. I lost a ton of weight. I went from being a 220-pound powerlifter to, at the time, 151, training for a judo tournament. I eventually put about 20 pounds more back on. I lost that when I started ultra running. And again, just miracles. Relationships that had ended healed in friendship. New relationships came into my life. And as far as the cow wrap to grow vegetables, I don't know. I think things like that are an individual thing. Some vegans would say no animal products for any reason whatsoever, including honey. And others would say, well, honey is not harmful. How did the cow die? That might be the question. It sounds funny to ask that, but for me, it's, hey, if a cow has led a happy life and I use cowhide after the cow has passed, if the cow has been, trusted friend, trusted part of the family, can it serve a purpose? I like the way, Native Americans approach to hunting. It's almost strikes me as being vegan. They're not causing suffering to the animal, and they're addressing whatever suffering might occur by offering a blessing. So I think it's all how we approach things. This is why I hold my own opinions on as of a vegan lightly, making no demands on anyone else to ever do anything differently, as well as not making demands on other vegans and how they do things. That was a good question, Eric. Thank you for that. Runner Boy is still here. Slime Diver says, my grandkids are better at this technology than I am. That seems the way it works. I'm glad to see that Slime Diver, though, is holding no grudges. Sometimes, if there's attacks going from all over, some people get lost in the shuffle, unfortunately. So, again, I might have missed some stuff here. I know I missed some stuff here. Hey, no stress, Slime Diver. No stress at all. I appreciate every recommendation. I got to take everything into consideration. I'm so new at this, um, and obviously, uh, as the conversations grow, I need to look at all kinds of options. Destiny says, thanks for the discussion and fellowship. I have to go now, and we'll catch you later. Blessings and love to you, you in the chat. Blessings and love to you, my friend. For me, it's always a special occasion when our friend Destiny is here. TCAP says, I see in the streams the quantum field picking things up. My thoughts coming through music and images and friends' channels. Exactly. And for me, books. I mentioned before, I'm reading Wayne Dyer's book, Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Life, which is his interpretation of the Tao Te Ching. I've had the book since it came out in paperback over 20 years ago. For some reason, I couldn't bring myself to read it. I like Wayne Dyer, and I've been reading the Tao Te Ching for 40 plus years. But I couldn't bring myself to read that interpretation until about 2 weeks ago when I found the book in my hand and it was the exact book that I needed. Some of the recent events here on the live streams have led me to reinvest time into A Course in Miracles. The perfect book, the perfect information, the perfect knowledge always drops easily when we're open to it, and when we ask. Goldie says, silent moderator, YouTube takes away the first $100. I did not know that. And what do they do with that $100? I was thinking about that. I don't want to put out bad vibes to YouTube. They're giving me a place to have these conversations. I get to share my workouts, thoughts, all kinds of stuff. I should be monetized fully soon. But they have options for people to skip ads and they get money. And yet creators get paid when people view ads. So shouldn't some of the money that goes into that they receive for skipping ads go to the creators that give them all the content that's on their platform? I don't know. I love the thought, the stream, or I love the thought quantum fields, the fields, they talk about that in the Bhagavad Gita, the fields of energy, the fields of our existence, that we are the knower of the field as well as the field itself. I love that analogy. Thomas says, I second guess my intuition a bit since becoming a father, but slowly coming back into grace. Yeah, being a father can be a scary thing. I'm a stepfather. And I was in my late 30s when I stepped into that role. So there was a lot of uncertainty. There was a lot of love all the way around instantly. And that helps a lot. The scary thing as a father, a newborn on, is that awesome responsibility that we have, that you have. TCAP says, I always ask myself, would they eat me given the chance? Cows? Cows are pretty fierce in their aggression. When I look at Eric LaPointe's cows, there's a little sense of fear. What are they thinking? I don't like the look in his eyes. Well, I've got all kinds of news here. YouTube takes 40 out each month. Teacup says, but I try not to use this as an excuse to deny the reality we currently reside in. Interesting. Let's see. Let's keep working our way down. Goldie says, Teacup, being a single mom, I understand questioning ourselves. Eric Point says, I'm sorry, I meant crap. What crap did we miss? I think this is probably the most behind I've ever fallen in a conversation, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. For one, it means it was a great conversation. Silent Mod says, Yogi, so far behind. Yeah, I am. Cow crap. Ah, okay. Okay. Oh, you know what? No, that would be good. Yeah. No reason not to. Silent Mod taken off. Is he actually going to sleep? Awesome. Let's see. Dredson says, we use cow skins and goat skins for drum heads, acknowledging the tree sacrifice for the drum shell, animal sacrifice for the skin, and the drummer giving energy to the music. That's the way to do it. And as he said, representing animal, vegetable, mineral, and human in all one instrument. And the beauty, the vibration that emerges from that. That's the way to do it. You know, I always mention that if you want to eat meat, if you're going to eat meat, personally, my own view on this, it's better to hunt. And it's better to hunt in the fashion that Dredson explained, that you're literally, and I'm absolutely sure that our friend Barb and Wolf would actually endorse as well, that you're actually honoring the animal spirit in which is helping you. Same with fishing, same with farming. That we need to return to husbandry, actually caring for the food, not even thinking of it as food. It's not food until it becomes food. It's life beforehand. And every life needs to be honored, no matter the end result. Two Cap says, yes, Red Sun, gratitude costs nothing and gives everything. Exactly. Dottie's here. Dottie, how are you? Dottie says, hello, my lovely friends. Barb says, 100% Yogi. Always thank the spirit of the animal or food for sustaining us. Exactly. Everything I eat is, I'm more mindful of it in the morning. Morning is my most mindful time of the day. And as I prepare my oatmeal, as I put in the walnuts, as I add bananas and blueberries, there is a silent prayer, gratitude, literally chanting. Last few days, I've talked about this. The prasad, which is the chanting over food with the intent of adding love as an essential ingredient, so that when you're consuming it, you're consuming love. If you're serving it to another people, then the love that you put into it is being shared with them. Goldie says, how are you today, lovely lady? Dredson says, I gotta make some moves. Thanks for sharing space and time. Peace to you, my friend. I appreciate you being here. We're gonna talk for about 10 minutes, and then I'll call it an afternoon. man, I love these conversations. Yes, I fell behind, but that's because there was so much awesome stuff being shared. I'm sorry if I missed any of it, but absolutely, to me, this is what it's all about. And it doesn't matter if it's me and one other person. Um, I've had live streams where it's been basically uh, myself and Destiny and maybe two other people. There's been times when it's been myself and Goldie and one or two other people, um, Eric Lapointe, and just a few other people. Doesn't matter to me. I'll have a pretty good conversation just talking to me here. But I love the energy that everyone brings, and it doesn't have to be energy that I agree with. I just appreciate you guys being here and being open. You know, my goal is to be open, or let's say my intent is to be open to everything you guys bring, because it's truly a gift. And we don't look at a gift and say, nah, I'm good. We accept it. And then what we do with it is entirely up to us. Once you give a gift, I think about this with my writing. I've had people be extremely critical with my writing. And if I reply, which I seldom ever do, is it's no longer my writing. I gave it away. You're criticizing something that you read that has absolutely nothing to do with me. There was a time when I would have taken that very personally. And if I feel the sting of it now, it's a great reminder. Let it go. It's not mine anymore. So, you know, I feel that paradox where I can think back of a time maybe years, maybe months ago, where I felt that tinge. Um, and I asked, am I being honest with myself when I say something like that, that I let it go? And the answer is yes. Honestly, I have. Does it resurface? Yes. Honestly, it does. Is there a contradiction? Yes. Honestly, there is. Do I care? No, not even a little bit. Um, Life is full of contradictions, full of paradoxes. The key is to accept them all. Life can be two things at once. Let's see. Gordy says, thank you for being here, MF. Very much. Wolf says, man has forgotten the meaning of domain. Mocha mentions that all the time. If Mocha is still here, she will appreciate seeing that, Wolf. Um, it is supposed to mean ours to care for, not ours to destroy. Perfectly said. Oh, that beautifully said, Wolf. I hope Mocha sees that. I hope she's still around. She might be working out. Two Cap says exactly, Moonwolf. Yes. Or stewardship. Awesome, Goldie. Exactly. And I've heard people use that as an argument. We were given the earth to do what we want, which isn't true. No matter what religion or spiritual tradition you follow, we were given a gift. And if one of my favorite things to talk about is the sixth day in Genesis after God finished his creation, and he looked at the world and said that it's good. Everything he created was good. And that he didn't say, come on, guys, now let's go muck it up. Do whatever you want. You got streams waiting for pollution. You got animals to kill. You got trees to destroy. Donnie says, my chat isn't coming through. What are we missing? Wolf says, yes, Goldie. Barb says, I need to check Poxy, saying bye to all. I love to everyone. Be kind and good to each other. Hugs and blessings. Barb, I can't tell you how much it means to have you here. Full conversation, and that we're going to be ending it in a few minutes, and that we've achieved a sense of peace with all of us. Everyone is essential for achieving peace, and it all starts with each and every one of us. Dottie says it's good now. Awesome. Teacup says, I'm headed to pick up the boy from camp. Peace and love to you all. Excellent job today. You killed it. Wolf, I love, by the way, I love that message. Say hello to the Master Sergeant. And the Master Sergeant is here. Says hello, Wolf. Milka says, what was the comment that I should see? Wolf had said that people forget that having domain over the earth, having domain over animals, means to care, to take care of, not to destroy. And I had said that that is exactly what Mocha says all the time. Wolf says, hi, as do. Dottie Dora, the UK Explorer. Dottie took the day off from van work today to take a walk, to take a lovely walk. And I love when our friends take a walk and invite us to come along. Our friend Signature does that quite a bit. We're going to be taking an adventure walk tomorrow. In my immediate area, I have a pond where the vast majority of the film and the shorts that you see is taken around there, or in the approximate area. And it's less than a quarter mile from my house. I got woods right to the left of me here. I used to have woods everywhere growing up, in just this area. But I also have 4 other lakes in the area, some of which we used to walk to when we were training for ultra marathons, and they have a little more different variety of wildlife, or more, not much more, but a little bit more. They have more beavers, that's for sure. So we're taking a little trip out there at my 5:30 walk and 5:30-ish walk, and we're going to see what we can find. Stay tuned. I'm hoping for some beavers. Always hopeful for foxes, but I take it all as a gift, whatever comes. So, having said all that, I appreciate it when you guys invite me along for those walks. Wolf says, must be an Air Force thing. The like-minded ideas, yes. Mocha used to always say it was I forget how you said it, that the Air Force is basically considered the intellectual branch of the military. Not saying the others aren't, but that it's just, I'll let her explain it. I don't want to get myself in trouble. Daddy says, looks lovely around you area, Eric. Lots of nature. Yeah, so much nature. Very blessed to live here. I wouldn't mind if it was still of the way it was in the 70s and 80s. Nothing is ever the same, as we all know. Eric LaPointe says, I've heard that too. Now, of course, I've heard it from people in the Air Force. I've never heard it from a friend of mine who was a Marine. I've never heard it from Army friends before. So, cerebral. That's the word. Gordy says, what did he hear, Eric? Point that the United States Air Force is the more cerebral branch. Wolf says, Air Force is not all brute force, but they sure can deliver. Mocha says, true that, Wolf. Oh, wow. Eric Point says, I actually heard that from an Army guy. Nice. So it must be true. I can only speak of my own experience. I like Michael Hayden. Was he the top ranking general from the Air Force? Dottie says, so true, movie here, land is built on, and a lot of natural habitat is gone. Yeah, and that's always such a shame to see. And then we continue living in the same area, and it just, it's so nice, it's so great, but it's lost a little something that is not coming back. Eric Lapointe says, Army. So, all right, guys, I think we're going to wrap it up. Has become my traditional farewell. If you guys are absolutely bored later in the day, in about 2 hours, nothing else to do, nothing better to do, come on back, and we'll continue to talk. We'll probably talk about something completely different, and we'll probably talk about the same old stuff that we always talk about, which I never get tired of. So, had some new people, and some new revisiting people, or revisiting new people, however the case may be. And we had our great friends all being here. And the new people, or the new revisiting people, hopefully soon will become long-lasting friends. Everyone's welcome. Everyone's appreciated. And we saw, ultimately we saw very few attacks, and that was dealt with. If you're here and you have a different view, if you're here and you don't like someone, you're still welcome to be here as long as you don't attack. That's all we ask for. No one is ever excluded just because they think differently from me. Everyone thinks differently from me. The world would be a very, very scary place if everyone thought like me. I think Mocha would definitely vouch for that. Raspberry Spice says, it was great. Time. Thanks for the chat. I'll be back. Awesome. I appreciate that. And I appreciate you being here. You guys, all of you guys, were vital to the conversation. And it's these conversations that, for me, they matter, because diverse people with diverse backgrounds and ideas and thoughts come together and get an opportunity to share them. Wolf says, we enjoy the vacant space across from us with the birds and squirrels. Try to keep it cut to make it more park-like. I was talking about the bane of my existence. I forget what I said the bane of my existence was. I'll tell you the true bane of my existence. Lawnmowers and weed eaters. I should say constant lawnmowers and weed eaters, because in every part of my neighborhood, it's lawnmower day. Each and every day. So you never escape that sound. One of the reasons why I love my early morning walks. Every chainsaw is still asleep in a tool shed somewhere. So, guys, thank you again so much. Very much appreciated. A couple things. I know I keep saying I'm saying goodbye. Big shout out to Eric Lapointe for Burpee Reaper, and for Thomas CPAC for stepping up. Most especially Eric Lapointe for stepping up, because that was his first big, truly impressive step up for the day. Prayers go out, not going to be specific at all whatsoever, but good thoughts and good energy to our friend Bumblebee T, as well as Salina, her and her sister Dana, as well. Anyone else who has been in, who needs any prayers whatsoever, hey, you got them. You got them from all of us. Goldie says, thank you for the lovely live and chat. Thank you for making it a lovely live and chat, because it honestly wouldn't be. Godzilla says, did you see the vid? I haven't, but you know what? Here's what I'm doing. I just clicked on your channel. As soon as I end the live stream, which is going to happen in 1 minute, actually less than a minute, I'm going to go check it out, and I'll leave a comment. Thanks for letting me know. Wolf says, did I miss something from Mocha? Oh, General Hayden was NSA director and then CIA director. And to answer real quick, Mocha, was he your superior at one time? He was. Mocha actually worked directly underneath of him And I had the opportunity to shake his hand at a military function once, and it was quite an honor. Not because he was a general, not because he was NSA director or soon to be CIA director, but because he's from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and he's a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. So, having said that, I've given away my alliances. Mocha says, yes, he was. It was awesome. Wolf says, cool. Flower says, Miss Mocha was here. She's still here. You guys can give her your traditional greetings, and then I gotta go. Flower can't sleep. There it is. Hi, Miss Mocha. All the A's, infinite A's. And hi, little ray of sunshine, Flower. Now all is right with the world. And now, Flower can put her head down and get some sleep. That's all she needed. That's why she had to come in here. Just to get that greeting out of the way. And now it's done. UK Medic was here. That's all we needed. UK Medic was here. That signature. It's like, you know, Down Your Boone was here. So, we're ending the conversation. Medic, I appreciate you stopping by. Sorry we couldn't talk longer. I'll be back. 2 hours, just about. Wolf says there was a lot of great officers and not so. Yeah, Mocha's had that experience as well. I'll let her share that with you all sometimes. She said, very true. Guys, thanks. Take care.